What's pretty unique about this machine relative to some of your more traditional machines in the market, super lightweight. The machine weighs 6,000 pounds roughly, depending on whether you have a cab or not. In a lot of cases, you can stay underneath that CDL requirement for your truck and trailer combination. And then the big one is fuel efficiency. These machines are burning about half a gallon of fuel an hour. Small skid steer is going to burn somewhere around 2.5 gallons per hour. So in the lifetime of the machine, you're going to save somewhere around $50,000 in just fuel consumption. This machine has been a hit so far, and really am having a hard time keeping them in stock.
Want to put some extra horsepower behind your operations? Click the link below to subscribe to Equipment World's daily newsletter for the latest construction equipment news, trends, and reviews.
My name is Brian DePaul with Avant Tecno USA. I'm business development manager for North America. Just want to introduce the new 855 model from Avant. Fills a void in our product line today. Our existing model and portfolio range had an 800 series machine, but we're introducing this model as a single speed machine and something the market's been asking for. And then of course the concept of the Avant machine is where you can run the machine anywhere where you have perfectly manicured grass. You're not going to damage the surface and have to come back and do repair work. So there's a lot of labor savings on that end. So markets where we're having a lot of success, anywhere of course where material handling is involved. Nurseries is a really good application, and landscape supply yards, anywhere where you're loading and unloading full pallets. Your dump height on this machine is 11 feet, so if you're dumping material into triaxles, whether it's sand or it's mulch or stone, it's a really good application. And surprisingly, we're seeing a lot of market penetration on this model within the city and municipality segment. Again, it's a small enough machine, and it lifts 4,200 pounds, so a very small package. The width is about 52 inches, so again, getting in tight confined areas and working is really important. The machine concept, you're sitting on the front side of the articulation, so unlike a traditional wheel loader where you're going to sit on the rear side. So being on the front side has a number of benefits. As you articulate and you're working, you're going to always be square with your attachment, so much better visibility, much safer working environment. But it also allows you to have a much lower center of gravity, which makes the machine a lot more stable. And again, unlike a traditional loader, we do articulate, but we do not have an oscillating frame. So wherever there's application where the four wheels are touching the ground, it's going to be a lot more stable and a lot more difficult to tip over, unlike a traditional machine. So you have an individual drive motor on each wheel. You have 2 hydraulic pumps. Bosch Rexroth manufactures our pumps. We have Poclain drive motors. The nice part of the design concept is that one of the pumps is going to be for your auxiliary hydraulics. The other is going to be for your drivetrain. So let's say you're running a snowblower or a rotary broom or some hydraulic attachment. You can actually set the speed of that attachment, but you can still drive as slow or as fast as you want independently, which is a really nice feature, and customers tend to like that. And the engine is going to be a Kohler KDI. It's going to be a 56 horsepower. No after treatment, no regeneration, no AdBlue or DEF fluid. So again, that's a major plus for the industry today. They're trying to avoid the after treatment where possible. This is our new GT cab. It's the same cab throughout our whole product range, which is really nice because there's a lot of commonality as far as parts and things like that. The cab itself and the operator station is pretty much the same as what you've seen on the Avants in the last few years. It's a pretty comfortable size cab. We have large operators that fit in there and some are surprised because of how small the machine is. But as far as any new changes, it's really just going to be the digital display, which has onboard diagnostics. You can program your hydraulic output very specific for the attachment that you're utilizing, because we have 230 attachments roughly in our range, and so it's a lot easier for the operator to program that and get optimal performance out of the attachment that they're running. This is a tool carrier, so you're in and out of a lot of different attachments throughout the day if you're utilizing the machine the way it's designed. But the display also has onboard diagnostics, so if there's ever an issue, it's going to throw a code and give you a good idea of where to start in your troubleshooting process. Options within the cab, you have heat option to get air conditioning as well. Or you can have just an open cab design, which, we tend to see more of the open cab in that nursery, like landscape supply type application. But typically city, municipality, general construction, you're going to use the cab. You're going to see that as more common. Other than that, there's one tire size option we have on this machine. You can get a grass tire or turf tire, and you can also get a bar tire, like a tractor tire. But a great machine for snow removal if you're in the northern tier, where you can run on wider sidewalks, but also in open parking lots. And I'd say, depending on the snow, and if it's a heavy wet snow, somewhere between an 8 and 10 foot pusher would be kind of the limitations of this machine. seeing the market trends today. There's a lot of competition entering the market and kind of chasing Avant. We're excited about this model. I don't anticipate us going any bigger than this size machine because at that point it conflicts with a lot of our dealers' major core brands of wheel loaders. But we do, it does fill a nice void within the market today. So
For more videos like this, click the playlist on the screen now.